Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Surah Al-Maa'idah, ayah number 85. قال الله تعالى فأثابهم الله بما قالوا جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها وذلك جزاء المحسنين. Just remember previously Allah Jalla wa Ala was talking about these Christians in Habasha. When they hear the Quran, their eyes fill up with tears because of what they recognize of the truth, and they embrace the deen. And so in this ayah he goes on to say that because of what they said, meaning their words of Iman, Allah awarded them Jannat, meaning gardens, under which rivers flow, meaning rivers flowing on the ground, of course, not underneath the Jannah, where they will abide therein forever. And that is the jaza, the reward of the muhsineen, those who do good. The verb at the beginning, athaba, from athaba yuthibu ithabatan, to give thawab, which means to reward. Okay, so picking up on some benefits of ayah number 85, we find the obvious benefit that Allah Jalla wa Ala rewarded these people because of what they said. In other words, you are rewarded because of your actions. Notice he says bima qalu, because of what they said. And this does not conflict with the rule that you only enter Jannah because of the mercy of Allah and not because of your deeds. Because the point is, in order to attain the mercy of Allah, you have to work righteousness. And through that mercy of Allah Jalla wa Ala, you enter Jannah. But your good deeds themselves are not enough to enter you into Jannah. If your good deeds were weighed on a scale and Jannah is on the other end, then your good deeds would not equal to the weight of Jannah. Or another way to look at it is to say, if a computer, let's say, costs £1,000 and you only have £50, the seller will not sell you his merchandise for just £50 where it is worth £1,000. But because the seller is extremely merciful and he has seen that you made an effort at least to bring your £50, he will take that £50 and give you his merchandise out of his mercy, not because it is financially an equal trade. We also find that Jannah is not just one thing, there are many gardens, because the word Jannat is used, plural. We find a description of Jannah with rivers, and this is the most common description given in the Quran, flowing rivers. We find that the people of Jannah dwell therein forever, as the word Khalidin is used, and that this is the reward of those who do good. So Allah Jalla wa Ala is encouraging people to do good, and of course good as defined by the Sharia. Notice he also says ذَلِكَ, that is the reward of those who do good, as if he's referring to something far away. Something which is near is referred to as هذا. So why is it far away? It is far away because it is high in status. Just like you see the stars, they are far away but they are also high. So this is the status of those who do good. It is high and lofty. Ayah number 86. وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَكَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا أُولَئِكَ أَصْحَابُ الْجَحِيمِ. And those who commit kufr and kadhabu, meaning belie, our ayat, these are ayat shar'iyya and kawniyya, then those are the ashab, which means companions, of the jahim. That's another word for hellfire. Okay, so reflecting on ayah number 86, we take the obvious lesson that those who commit kufr and those who belie the ayat which Allah Jalla wa Ala sends down on His prophets, be it the Quran or other miracles as well, those who belie such ayat and reject the deen, and they are the dwellers of the fire. Notice ulaika is used, meaning they are. Again, they are far away. Why are they far away? Because they are far away from the mercy of Allah Jalla wa Ala. We also notice how Allah Jalla wa Ala talks about rewarding the good doers and punishing the evildoers who disbelieve. And this is how the Quran maintains its balance, and this is how we need to maintain balance. When we talk about the deen, when we call others to this deen, it must be in a balanced way. Going to extremes either way is no good. Ayah number 87. Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu la tuharrimu tayyibati ma ahalla Allahu lakum wa la ta'tadu inna Allaha la yuhibbu al-mu'tadin. So here he changes the topic and speaks about something new. He says, O you who believe, the famous call, do not tuharrimu, make haram, tayyibat, the good things, which Allah has ahalla, made halal for you, wala ta'tadu, from i'tida, to transgress, do not transgress or overstep the mark. And this is done either being extravagant in the halal things, so eating extravagantly or having too many clothes extravagantly, more than what is usual for your financial level, and more than what you genuinely need to make use of. So just being excessive and gratuitous, even in the halal matters. And also the second way is to go to the other extreme, which is to make haram what Allah has made halal. And the third way is to simply commit that which is haram. That is also overstepping the mark. So in total, 3 broad ways of making i'tida. And he says, indeed Allah does not love the mu'tadin, those who overstep the mark or transgress. Okay, let us reflect on ayah number 87. We take the obvious lesson that you're not allowed to make haram what Allah has made halal. And this can be done in at least 2 ways. The first way is to declare something to be haram as a hukum, meaning it is haram for everyone. For example, someone says drinking milk is haram. Now saying that about alcoholic beverages would be allowed, but to say it about milk is haram, because you're not allowed to give a ruling contrary to what is well known in the deen. If you declare something to be haram, then you need to provide authentic, clear-cut evidence. Otherwise, declaring the haram to be halal or the halal to be haram is kufr, because then essentially you make yourself into a taghut, and those who follow you will be taking you as a taghut, just like what happened with the Yahud and the Nasara, whose leaders made haram what Allah made halal and vice versa, and the followers blind followed them. So one needs to be careful when giving a hukum shar'i. The other way to make haram what Allah made halal is that you make something haram on yourself only, but not on others. So you do not declare something to be haram as a hukum shar'i, but you make it haram for yourself specifically. And this is also haram, although not as bad as the first type. And this takes the ruling of an oath, for which you must give a kafara. And this is similar to what the Prophet ﷺ did in Surah At-Tahrim, where he made honey haram for himself. And Allah Jalla wa Ala says that he needs to give a tahillah, which is a kafara you give before breaking that oath. So the idea is you give the kafara, which is called a tahillah, and then you consume honey. Do not make it haram on yourself, where Allah has made it halal. And this is where ideologies like veganism is major kufr. They are essentially declaring eating meat and using animal products to be unlawful for everybody. So they are essentially giving a hukum, and the ahkam only belong to Allah. Inil hukmu illa lillah. The hukum, the ruling, belongs to Allah alone. And we also take the prohibition of udwan, and we spoke about the 3 ways broadly in which this can be done. We also take the grace and the blessing that Allah has bestowed upon us in that He has made halal the good things. If He willed, He could have made it haram, as He did with Banu Israel in ayah 160 of Surah An-Nisa. فَبِظُلْمٍ مِّنَ الَّذِينَ هَادُوا حَرَّمْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ طَيِّبَاتٍ أُحِلَّتْ لَهُمْ. Because of the dhulm of the Banu Israel, we made haram for them the good things which used to be halal. Now note that this tahrim could still happen, because there is a tahrim shar'i and a tahrim qadari. The tahrim shar'i is what we find in the Quran and the authentic sunnah. those things which are made haram. However, tahrim qadari, that which Allah wills, could still exist. For example, what if a person develops some sort of allergy when they drink milk, for example? Now they are unable to drink milk. This is Allah making milk haram for such a person. This is not tahrim shar'i, it is tahrim qadari. We also note that Allah does not love those who transgress, which basically means that love is from His attributes. So He does love those who do not transgress and stick to the limits of Allah Jalla wa Ala. Because if Allah does not love certain types of people, it means He does love certain other types of people. And of course, just like with all His other attributes, His attributes are fitting to His divine majesty. Ayah 88. وَكُلُوا مِمَّا رَزَقَكُمْ اللَّهُ حَلَالًا طَيِّبًا وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ الَّذِي أَنْتُمْ بِهِ مُؤْمِنُونَ. He says, eat of what Allah has provided you. رَزَقَكُمْ, razaqa, to provide. حَلَالًا طَيِّبًا. We ask ourselves, why is halal mansub bil fathah? Halal describes something, so it would be describing the food that you're eating. So it would read kulu at'imatan halalan, eat halal food. But the word at'ima, or foods, plural of ta'am, which is food, is mahdhuf, it is discarded because it is well known. It could also be interpreted to be kulu aklan halalan, eat a halal eating. So the aklan is the masdar, or the verbal noun, means eating. So the halal could either be describing the food itself or the act of eating itself. But essentially it means the same thing, which is that you need to be eating halal comestibles. The other question we need to ask is, what is the difference between halal and tayyib? Well, either we can say they both mean the same thing. Halal is tayyib and tayyib is halal, and that they are both mentioned together by way of emphasis. However, one might argue and say that because these words are mentioned side by side, there needs to be a difference, and that this is indeed the asl, that there is a difference between the words and they are not for emphasis. So on this second opinion, we may then say that halal means that which is halal in and of itself. For example, pork is halal and chicken is halal in and of themselves. And the tayyib would refer to that which is acquired through halal means. Chicken is definitely halal, but if you stole it, then that is acquired through non-halal means. Or if you purchase it through haram earnings, for example through selling alcohol or through riba, then you are acquiring your provisions with wealth which is acquired through haram means. And then he says, fear Allah, the one whom you believe in. We have spoken about taqwa before. Reflecting on ayah number 88, we find Allah ordering us to eat from the goodly things, and we spoke about the words halal and tayyib before. So is this order for obligation? Well, the answer is it depends on the situation. If a person refrains from eating, and this refraining is going to put his life at risk, then we say it is obligatory for you to eat. You're not allowed to put your life at risk. So those who go on hunger strikes, if they are putting their life at risk, then that is haram. The second type is that your life is not at risk, but eating will strengthen you to perform beneficial activities. We say here it is recommended to eat to strengthen yourself. But we do not say it is obligatory because your life is not at stake. And the third way somebody may refrain is that they may do it as part of their deen because they want to cut themselves off from the goodly things of this life. So if you are doing it for ascetic reasons, then this is haram. Indeed, it is a bid'ah. Just like the three youths who learnt of the life of the Prophet, one of them said that he's going to stay up all night and not go to sleep. The other one says he's going to fast all day and not break his fast. And the other one said he will not marry any woman. So here these three are leaving off the halal indulgences for the sake of the deen, and the Prophet rebuked them for it, because this is a bid'ah. It is analogous to the monasticism of the Christians. However, if someone leaves off some indulgent food and drink for personal reasons, let's say for health reasons, maybe somebody goes vegetarian because they want to cut down on meat, as perhaps eating too much red meat is bad for the health, and the vegetarian diet is known to be healthier. So for these reasons, which are not deeni reasons, they are more health reasons and physical reasons, that is fine. The Prophet ﷺ refrained from eating the sand lizard because he felt averse to it, although the sand lizard is from the tayyibat which Allah has made halal. We may also take that your food and drink and all other types of wealth are provided to you by Allah Jalla wa Ala. This is vital to know, because too many people give themselves the credit, and this is totally wrong. All the credit belongs to Allah Jalla wa Ala. Even your ability to earn wealth is from the provisions of Allah Jalla wa Ala. You could have been born handicapped, but it is only from the grace of Allah that He has given you ability to work and earn money and provide for yourselves. And this is why it is upon us to always be grateful and never to give ourselves any credit. We also pick up a vital lesson that real iman in your heart will lead you to having taqwa. So those people who have no taqwa, they actually have no iman in their heart. And it is not good enough to say, well, the taqwa is a matter of the heart. Yes, taqwa is a matter of the heart, but if the heart is sound, then your limbs will also be sound. And your taqwa will show on your limbs through the actions you perform. So the one who commits evil actions is only doing so because his heart is commanding his limbs to commit the evil actions, which means his heart has no taqwa. So the point is that iman and taqwa are closely related. The more iman you have, the higher your level of taqwa, and the less so. هذا والله أعلم.